I wasn't always a minimalist. In fact, I think that even just a few years ago, I was the opposite of a minimalist, and to this day, it is still a work in progress. But when I started my minimalism journey a few years ago, I definitely found it difficult to grasp what the word minimalism actually meant. Was it owning 7 pieces of clothing, only 1 cup and 1 bowl? Was it just an aesthetic and a style that everybody seemed to be adopting? Or was it more of an overarching mindset that could apply to every area of my life? While I do think the foundation of minimalism is the same for everyone who is on this journey, I do think it's quite a personalized experience. So for me, it's all about being content with what I have already and also being intentional about the way that I spend my time, energy, and money. While there are extreme ways to adopt a minimalist lifestyle, I've found that it's in the small and simple daily habits that I'm able to actually foster that lasting mindset of essentialism in my life. And I truly believe that even non-minimalists can benefit from the things that I'm about to share. So let's get into it. Number 1 is to clear your surfaces. Whether we are aware of it or not, our everyday surroundings do have a direct impact on our overall mood and emotions. So how does this actually work? When we are surrounded by clutter for prolonged periods of time, and this is actually based on research, there have been studies done on it, the stress hormone called cortisol actually increases in our bodies. So even if, we are used to having that clutter around, it doesn't mean that it's not affecting us. Now, I've said very specifically surfaces because even if you have full cupboards and full drawers, the surfaces are what you are going to be seeing most frequently. So if you can clear those off, it's definitely going to help positively impact your overall mood. I think it's normal and obviously ordinary to have things on surfaces. That's kind of what they're for. Even our surfaces do get stuff on them from time to time. The kitchen counter, the bathroom counter, the coffee table, even the dining table is usually home to my laptop. But what really helps us in our household is just making it a habit to clear off those areas before we go to bed or simply after a task has been completed. And even though it takes, an extra 30 seconds to a minute to do this, it definitely helps to make sure that things don't pile up on these surfaces, making it for an even more tedious task later on. Number 2 is to buy for quality. Now, this might be something that you already do, but if not, then I highly recommend it. I always find that when I am buying for the quality of an item versus the quantity, for example, it reduces the need to actually replace that item more frequently, and it ends up saving me in money, time, and energy in the long term. I've learned that even if a cheaper item or a pack of more affordable items that are of lesser quality saves me in that very moment that I'm buying it, it always costs me more down the road when I, have to continue replacing this item more frequently than I would like because the product is not of good quality, or even in the energy and time that it takes to care for that particular item. So for example, in the category of clothing, if you have something that is of lower quality, it's probably going to take up more of your time to continuously steam it, to continuously repair it, than if you were to buy a higher quality item that doesn't necessarily require that. Over time, being intentional about the quality of the goods that you buy will become a habit, and then you will soon be surrounded by the items that are only worth your time, money, and energy. Start keeping a wish list. This is all over social media. There are a whole bunch of people that recommend this, and for good reason. Keeping a wish list allows you to keep tabs on the things that you really want without pulling out your wallet right away. I definitely find that this has helped me to save money, and I mean a lot of money, because, a lot of the time we are influenced so heavily on social media to buy things that we don't actually need. The people that we see wearing certain things and organizing with certain things are kind of selling that desirable outcome, but they're not always, realistic to how we live our lives or to the things that we actually need. So keeping that wish list allows us to just simply take a breather before impulsively buying new stuff. The next time that you find that you want something new or you feel compelled to go out and buy something right away, put it on your wish list. Leave it on there for a couple of weeks, and if at the end of those 2 weeks you're not super wowed by it anymore, you probably didn't want it in the first place. But on the other end, if you are still super, super excited and this item just brings you so much joy, then maybe it is something worth spending your money on. By delaying the gratification that we get from material goods, we are being more intentional about how we spend our money, and in turn, the things that we do spend our money on are much more worthwhile. Turn the notifications off on your phone and your laptop or whatever devices you might have. I almost did not put this one on the list because I can't remember the last time that I had notifications turned on for things other than iMessage, but I definitely do think it's an important one and also super simple to do. Notifications are just one more thing that can steal our focus from the things that we are trying to do. So if you're used to seeing dozens of banners and badges and notifications popping up on your phone, turn it off for a few days and see if your focus improves. See if you are distracted less when you are trying to do something important. I personally keep my phone on silent pretty much all of the time unless I'm waiting for an important call, and this just allows me to have the space to check my phone on my own time rather than being rudely interrupted constantly. Find your favorites and stick with them. At quick glance, all of the options and variety that we have at our fingertips these days can seem really great because we all have our personal preferences and we all love just the freedom to choose what we want at any given moment. But I have definitely found that in my life, having too many options leads to decision fatigue and causes me more stress than it does, happiness, joy, and satisfaction. Take skincare, for example. I used to have at least a handful of products for any given type of skincare. Toners, serums, moisturizers, SPF, you name it, I had in abundance. And while this could have been seen as, great, I had a whole bunch of things to try and I could address any concern I wanted, it caused me more exhaustion to decide what I was going to use, and it also didn't allow me to reap the full benefits of one product because I had my fingers in so many at any given time. This can apply to any area of our lives, whether it's our wardrobes, our pantries, our shoe closets. There is just a lot of overconsumption that we see on social media, and it's definitely pushed onto us. But I just suggest, taking a step back, figuring out what you really love to use, what works for you, and sticking with it. This is a great way to practice being satisfied and grateful with what you have rather than always chasing the next best thing, because that we know is a hamster wheel. And lastly, practice gratitude daily. This is something that I've been trying really hard to keep up with because I do find that when I am practicing gratitude daily and just reflecting on the things that I am thankful for in my life, I feel so much more satisfied with my life, and who doesn't want that? Whether it is a quick note in a journal when you wake up or a little note on your notes app on your phone before you go to bed, it doesn't have to be an elaborate routine. It's just a simple 1 to 2 minutes thinking about the things that you are grateful for, whether it was something that happened during your day or something that you're looking forward to in the future. It's all about being content with what we have in our lives already. This is so much more important now in the age of social media, where we can size ourselves up constantly to the endless highlight reels that we see. At the end of the day, minimalism is just a tool that can help us live more fulfilling lives, but it is up to us to build those habits that allow us to thrive. So whether you're on a minimalism journey or you're simply looking for ways to feel more satisfied with your life as it is, these things can definitely make a positive difference in your life. I'd love to know, which of these habits are you considering adding into your life? Or maybe you've got some of your own that I haven't mentioned that help you to be more content with what you have and also more intentional about how you spend your time, money, and energy. Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in some way, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel and helps to support my family as well. And if you are new here, thanks for watching. I would love if you joined our community. I talk a lot about minimalism and simplified living, just basically finding fulfillment in the ordinary and in just having less. So if that sounds of interest, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.